What is happening, everybody? Welcome to Tour Life. You got Brody here. Today is, what is today? July 9th, Wednesday. A little Wednesday special for everyone. We are currently in Foundation HQ up in Lynchburg, Virginia. And we got a fun little cast of characters on tonight's podcast. So I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves. Tell the people who they are, maybe a little bit if they don't know who they are. We got Gary sitting over here. Gary, tell the people what's up.
What's up, everybody? My name's Gary. If you don't know that, sucks to be you.
We got Trevor over here.
Yeah, my name's also is Trevor. It sucks to be you.
We got Robbie C with us tonight.
I'm Robbie C. I hope your life is great.
And Hunter.
Somebody else too.
Howdy, y'all. Hopefully this mic's working. Robbie and I are sharing it. We needed our mics this week for something else. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so a little bit of a different show tonight. Mike is good, says Tunnelman. This is going to be very more live interactive. So if you're listening on the podcast after the fact, you missed out. Yeah, you missed out. You could have been in the live chat on YouTube and interacting with us. But it should be fun. Yuli is past his bedtime. I think he is currently in a 1. Is he 1
Time zone check.
Is it 1 a.m.? In
I think it's 6. I think it's 6 hours still.
I'll look it up.
I think it's 6.
Sweden.
So
You'd think a new dad would be able to stay up a bit later than that, but
1 a.m. in
1
Norway.
1 a.m. in Norway.
This Tunnelman guy, this guy's new in the chat, I think, but he's on it. So appreciate to you. Appreciate to you.
New in the chat, he has a #1 crown.
For this.
It's week by week.
It's week, yeah.
That's a fun game.
Tunnelman stats.
We'll see if Tunnelman can hang on in the next 45 minutes when the show is over.
#1 in the chat right now.
Yeah, live chat. Meatball says
Tunnelman,
it's
you're
4
slipping.
a.m.
Whoa, I
Googled it. It's 1 a.m.
Oh,
Okay. Meatball's someone you gotta kind of, just read maybe and pass along.
Gotta
to
be
the
careful.
Next one.
Careful.
Yeah.
You never know what Meatball is gonna do. Meatball, good to see you.
That's a Memorial Day live stream situation. I had a meatball in my chat, we'll say, where I had to be careful what I was reading.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So tonight's episode is going to be a little bit more interactive, which is great. So if you guys do have any questions for any of the panelists or guests, or I don't even know what you want to call these people, analysts, if you will, just shoot them in the chat, and I'll ask them the questions, and we'll see if they give us a good answer. And if not, you can go to their Instagram page and say something to them.
I prefer my comment section.
Or comment section. There you go. We are up here, though, filming. How much can we say?
You can
Just
say it.
filming?
Filming. No, you can say Imposter Reality Series.
Yeah, we're filming.
Comes out end of October, beginning of November.
And I will tell you right now, this is a show that you're not going to want to miss because last season was awesome. I think a lot of people that watched the series last year really enjoyed it. This season, we're going bigger and better. They put a lot more, I think, time and effort into thinking about how to not just make it a great disc golf show, but make it a great reality show. So there's going to be a lot more content outside of the disc golf that's going to make the disc golf even more entertaining. So just remember, don't forget, 6 months from now, come back to Foundation Disc Golf on YouTube.
We'll make sure they don't forget.
We'll blast it in front of
Tune in. Who is the imposter slinger? You're gonna have to wait and watch, brother.
He won't remember.
Chat's the imposter.
Set the Reinvers. King Queen of the Hill will probably happen whenever Yuli. We can't do it until Yuli's back on the show.
It's Yuli's
only
favorite
fair.
segment. It's his favorite
King
segment.
Queen of the Hill. We totally know that is.
Yeah.
You know about King and Queen of the Hill?
Of course. Oh.
It's Gary's baby.
Yeah, when we make a power ranking, we make a power ranking, and it's pretty cool.
What the heck was that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying that when we deliver.
We have a power
How
ranking we just
recency
updated
bias
on Monday.
How recency bias is King and Queen of the Hill?
There's really no information on the algorithm. Gary has never let this. Was it proprietary?
Do you have your most recent update?
Listen, the King and Queen of the Hill, it's been marinating, serenading, and percolating in the lab. So
a lot of fun words.
If you get that reference, good for you out there. But yeah, that's.
Do you have your most recent King and Queen of the Hill update?
It's Yuli's favorite segment, so we have to wait for Yuli to be back on.
I was saying the most recent one that was shared.
Oh, from a while ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Well,
been a
see,
while.
the thing is, if you do it every single week, not a lot of movement.
Not a lot of movement.
happens.
We want movement around.
Movement happens. There's not recency enough.
We plan our segments out to be really, really
Yeah, we
conscientious with time.
we don't jump to conclusions and just take people for no reason.
Yeah, there's no ghost spots on ours. People who actually are playing are on the list.
I've got some
Understood.
questions. I got
So
some
very
questions here. So
unserious. Got
question
it.
for
We just bring
Gary.
people on and talk about their bags.
This is JT Disc Golf. He wants to know what's the worst disc in the world and why is it the Berg?
Amen.
You know, I gotta tell you something.
Amen.
This coming from a guy that throws a range.
You know what the best part about disc golf is that disc golf meets you where you're at in life, and everyone goes through a phase where they like the wrong things and they dislike, things they shouldn't dislike. It's okay. Right now you don't like the Berg. Someday you'll get a better disc in your hand. You'll figure it out. You'll probably figure out eventually that the Pig is not the disc you should be throwing.
When is Yuli going to be on debate night? That's a good question for Trevor.
We can't even get him on this show.
When he's in Europe, it's difficult. But that was a great response. Fantastic response.
I take debate night casting very seriously. Like, the people that I have on debate night are very punctual individuals that understand the system. So, like, these flashy superstars that come to me and they're like, I'd like to hop on that show sometime. Well, then get in my Excel spreadsheet, get in the Discord, and do it the right way.
I don't think people like that you got to do the dirty work to get on the show.
You do.
There's no personal
also-
assistance. It's
No,
just
I'm
you
not
get in
going to
there,
hold
you
your
do it yourself.
hand. I'm going to expect you to follow my rules.
Also,
It's
that
ridiculous.
spreadsheet doesn't really get updated as often as it could be.
What spreadsheet?
The Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, don't come after
You don't have a
Trevor's
sign-up
spreadsheet.
sheet? What do you
Don't
mean?
come
What do you
after
mean by
Trevor.
update? What do
I
you,
mean, like last year, it kind of just stopped being filled out halfway through the year.
that's nonsense. That's not true.
I feel like we
What are you
run into
talking
a
about?
war zone.
I can look it up. Right?
I feel
have
like
it on
Trevor
my
and
phone.
Gary are going to kill each other by the
I
end of
have
this
it on my phone. It's not true.
Well, yeah, now.
What do you mean? Why would I have gone back in time and updated it? That's impossible.
I think the goal is to just not even know there is a spreadsheet.
That's probably it.
This is news to me.
If you
Question.
get- yeah.
Question.
I will say-
Last year, I guess I only have this year.
We got a question for Hunter here from Shay. Shout out to Shay.
It's updated through the 29th right now.
That's good.
Are we at the 29th yet?
No.
Let me know
What-
when we get there.
What course in the area has the most water in play, and can we get a one disc round with Robbie C throwing Brooksy?
Oh my god.
It's Independence,
really
and
fun.
absolutely. We can.
Dude, low key
We just
though.
play with each other's.
Yeah, you and we just throw one long tee shot like over and over and over again until somebody aces or somebody goes in the water. But the problem is we'd have to keep getting it and get it back.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
tough.
big flaw in that.
Brother Bubs, I actually do love hard boiled eggs. However, I am way too. I need my eggs quick, so I just scramble. I do scrambles.
I have
just
some
scramble
things
them.
we can talk about. I really wanted to get everybody's opinion on two things tonight.
Okay.
Number one thing we need to talk about is Sodgate.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So for those that don't know, the European Festival grounds where the tournament's going to be held for the European Open just had like a 10,000 or no, was it 100,000? Did he say
150,000.
150,000.
150,000 person festival for what? I don't know.
The Talent
Music
Song
or
It's
something.
it's like July 4th. It's their independence, from my understanding. That was probably
they
a
gain
very
independence
insulting.
from?
That was probably a
What?
very insulting thing. But I heard it was the Talent
What's
Song
insulting?
Festival.
Me or you?
Me calling it like their July 4th. That was probably a very insulting statement. But I'm
know,
saying
July
it's.
4th's kinda sick.
I believe their
Yeah,
Talent
it is.
Song
Oh,
Festival
USSR. They
is
got
their
independence from USSR.
Yeah, I believe it's their celebration of independence.
Wait, did they actually? They didn't win. They didn't win independence from the Soviets, surely.
Mad Dog, he comes in a lot of times and
Oh,
just
did he
speaks
say?
facts. He said USSR.
But like, did they just kind of let him go, or like, did they just kind
They
of?
put up a fight, probably.
The Soviets kind of dissolved a little bit. I'm gonna get the background on
And
this.
it happened on July 1st, says Ryan. I believe everything that people put in the chat. It's really bad. I probably shouldn't do that, but I love my chat and I just believe everything you guys say.
I'm gonna get the background on this.
Okay, so storyline is you have all these people. It was really rainy, and what ended up being a beautiful grass kind of park is now completely covered in mud. Now, there is photos. Unfortunately, PJJ Mike is not able to make it tonight, so you guys will not see those photos. But if you want to go on Instagram to
Disc Golf Fanatic posted on Facebook.
Disc Golf Fanatic on Facebook.
Check out Trevor's X account.
Actually, everything after.
Oh,
happening on this.
Trevor tweeted.
Yep.
Basically, what they're doing is they're laying out sod. Now, I'm
Basically, they're rolling out grass.
Yes, and
Put some 2x4s.
I actually have a little bit of experience with sod. A little bit of experience with sod. I used to work golf course maintenance back in the
I
day.
got occupied twice.
And I have that's tough. And I've laid a decent amount of sod myself. Couple things I've learned from it. One, normally you do it in like little pieces. You don't do it in like rows of like 20 feet of sod. Two, normally you also like cut out the area that you're laying the sod next to grass that is already alive and well, so that the roots can kind of grow together and like fill in the gaps.
You
Essentially,
see the little patches under the stools that were still alive.
Well, it's a lot
They're
like
about 2 square feet.
it's a lot like Adam Hammis's disc at
Build off of
Waco.
that.
It only takes one blade of grass for it to matter.
yeah. So I've never.
Power of friendship.
I've never played disc golf or any activities on rolled out sod on top of mud. My guess is it's not good.
Yeah.
And my guess it's going to be actually decently scary because there's not enough time. Now, what should they have done?
All of us have hit a carpet running on hardwood floor.
Yeah, it's no good.
I think their best bet, if it was possible, I don't really know if they have the capabilities of this. I don't know how many cats are in the area. You needed truckloads of kitty litter, and you needed to just dump kitty litter over the entire course to try to absorb as much of that liquid as possible, and then just run it with that and see what happens. You're just playing the dirt. You're playing the dirt planes.
My opinion on, I believe it was Grip Locked Monday, was mulch was probably their best bet. But I mean, something where.
But you'd have to put so much
Correct.
mulch
So
because
you put
after
so much
the
of
first,
anything
Loose stone.
in general.
But
because
kitty litter.
Kitty litter is a
Needles.
dark horse option. I did not think
kitty
of.
kitty litter.
Rusty nails.
How many times have you taken kitty litter out and used it?
You do it for baseball.
It's very
for,
good.
for snow and ice
Our
is good
baseball
too.
field. Did
Very good.
You baseball guy. You never use that on the field?
I wasn't the groundskeeper
Well,
of the baseball.
In high school, we were all the groundskeepers.
Oh wait, we have
We want
another.
to play after school. If we ever got this game to go on, we're getting
Patrick, am I correct in the sense that putting fresh laid sod on top of mud is not going to hold up?
While we wait for
Not
Patrick's
really.
response, Mark is asking if it will only affect hole 1 and 18. I do believe it's only going to affect 3 to 4 holes on the course.
Yeah.
Oh,
if I
that's
saw
fantastic.
If
Yeah, I
I
think
saw
it
the
was like
diagram
4.
correctly.
And there's a couple,
1
like
and
Trevor
18,
said, couple spots under stools that there is grass.
There is grass.
Yeah, about-
If you just land.
This
But
much.
I do believe 1 and 18 are 2 of them.
I think 8's another one. The fairway on 8
Yeah.
is like wrecked.
And so it is unfortunate that the finishing hole could be a sketchy situation.
Could be electric coming down the wire. Someone just slipping slides down.
It might-
Yeah, Patrick says correct. It will not.
I
Okay.
respect the effort put in for sod because it will look good a week from now, maybe.
Not if players are just
but-
eating it.
Well, I'm not saying it's not going to
It's
look
gonna be
good
like
as players
Wimbledon
are
after day
dying.
one.
Yeah.
I'm saying the Jomez flyover, I guess I should say, will
It'll
look good.
sick.
Of like,
Okay.
oh, there's grass in the fairway, and then it'll cut to the live carnage of the carpet rolled up and players' feet and 6 inches of mud under, and that's
Who's
going to be a little
the first
tough.
player that knows it's bad. They've seen people slip, and so their disc lands, and they just do a little roll up their little seam and just throw from the mud.
Well, I think
It's put it back.
the other hard part is you have to water sod a lot.
Why do so many
I
kids
got
run
when I
underneath
moved
it?
into our house, we turned a part of our woods into an extension of our backyard. In that extension, we got sodded, and it required a lot of water in midsummer. I don't know what the heat's like in Estonia, but you know,
120 degrees every day.
a lot of water if it's a hot time.
It's going to change the definition of what a landslide performance might be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So we're looking forward to that. We do have the Crocol Open coming up. That is the next event that's happening. Number 1 course in the world. Very beautiful course. A lot of really cool holes out
That's
there.
The best part is back to back. We might get the number 1, like most beautiful course,
And there's
then
mud pit.
bowl.
Yeah, which to be honest, like the mud major, that sounds awesome. If you win the mud major,
I'd be down
maybe
for a
at the end.
purposeful
Yeah,
muddy course.
at the end you win, you get mud on your fingers and do like the little eye black.
Yeah.
Like,
There
I
we
mean, there's a
go.
lot of potential there. But that's all I really want to say about Crocol. Does anyone want to say anything else about Crocol?
Somebody said the weather's looking real nice. Is that sarcasm I detect?
Tunnel Man doesn't lie. All right, well then let's talk about this past tournament, the PCS Open, which used to be the Sula Open. This is a tournament that watching coverage, there was like an ounce of me being like, man, I kind of wish I was playing that because it is such a fun course. Not only is it super challenging, it's got beautiful views. It's really well kept. This year was a little bit interesting because some rounds, like there was like no wind out there.
Yeah.
And when there's no wind, a lot of the holes get a lot easier. And then when the wind started picking up for some of the players, you could see some of the scores out there going up, and up. But what are your guys' thoughts? Adam taking another win under his belt. I think with Adam, the storyline has always been he has a really high ceiling, but occasionally he will have also a really low floor. And I think his playing style and the way he putts, I think that might just be his game. And if I was him, I don't think I would change much because I think I would rather win every once in a while than like kind of lock in top 25.
Tell that to a Calvin fan, am I right?
Well, Calvin's like it's different when you're like in the top 5 a bunch and you haven't won. That's tougher, I think.
Pee Wee made a good point of when he goes into the final lead, he doesn't choke. I do think Adam Hamez, sorry Calvin fan, Robbie, I do think Adam Hamez does have that gene of like he knows how to win. Like coming down the stretch at Waco, Trevor brought up the big putt he hit on the preview show, which y'all will see tomorrow. Timeline really messed up in my head right now.
There you go.
But also like going to PCS, obviously he messed up hole 17. That could have been a make or break moment. He lets Gannon right back in it after just shutting the door in his face. And then on hole 18, even though Gannon messed up, Adam was in a like not a make or break, but like if he goes OB there, that's a very, very like that could have brought. Was it Miro? What's the guy's name? Hamalainen.
Really looked at Gary.
It was Mio.
Mio Hamalainen.
Hamalainen. Yep.
Yeah. It would have brought him right back into it, and Adam stepped up and clutched up with a more aggressive shot than he needed with that skip shot, and I think that does speak to like he knows how to win, which winning is a skill, and I think people are learning that more and more of like you can't. If you can have a big enough lead and just cruise to it, sure. But if you're in the clutch moment, if it's your first time there, like winning is a skill that's built, and Adam does have that. He just doesn't get there as often as some other players.
Yeah.
So what I do like for Adam in this situation as well is like he's peaking at a very good time because we talked about this going into the year.
Is he actually peaking though?
He has highs and lows. Now,
because I was gonna say with Adam,
cliff,
it could.
yes.
I was gonna say at any moment he could just his peak could just cut.
But I'm saying
from underneath
it's been weeks of him building to
this
this.
year than ever before.
And so we talked about at the beginning of the season a player, which Adam might be that guy. It could be someone else with the majors being essentially back to back. If you're feeling really good about your game, you're enjoying your time over there, whatever, and you are peaking, you could pick up 2 majors in a season and join a very short list of people.
Very short.
So Adam, being how streaky he is, when he's at the top of his game, it's very hard to beat. If that's where he's at right now and he can hold that for a month, he could walk away with a Pro Tour win and a major or 2, which would be incredible.
Great
and
season.
all of a sudden maybe put his career resume ahead of Anthony Barella, which would be an interesting spot.
Do you think anybody's going to go, like FPO or MPO is actually going to go back to back with the major thing?
I think Evelina Solomon.
I think FPO
Evelina.
has a great chance.
I would put it if I were the bookmaker and it was either FPO or MPO player to go back to back at the majors, I'd give it like plus 800.
Well, I mean, the real question is, Robbie, who do you think's not going to win Worlds?
Yeah, see, that was my worry. Is I've got my eye on Adam Hammes right now, which means that like statistically,
He's in trouble.
He's in trouble
Really big trouble.
because I'm watching him. But I don't know if my like everything's just totally flipped on its head. So.
Yeah, who is like, you're like, no shot they win either major.
We kind of did it with Evelina a little bit.
Well, he did it with
The US
Worlds.
women's. Well, yeah, he obviously.
He did it head nail on the head with Worlds. He said Isaac and Evelina aren't winning.
Yeah.
Win-win.
I-
So we
I
kind of wanted
really-
this magic. What's going on?
I really wonder. I think I even said Isaac wouldn't finish in top side of top 15.
Yeah.
that was tough.
Tough.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's no shot Gannon goes back to back. That's where I'll live.
No shot Gannon goes back to
Okay,
back.
Gannon can't win both.
So win betting, take the Gannon Burr, win both times.
Yeah, Gannon cannot win back to back. There you go. Lock it in.
So I do want
Sorry, Dan.
to. I do
Back-to-back
want
is so
to
crazy.
talk a little bit about. Unless you guys have any other things you want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
MPO.
I wanted to also discuss the test basket at Maple Hill. Have you seen it yet?
Well, I want to talk about FPO at PCS.
Okay.
Before we go, I was going to say, does anyone have anything else they have from PCS MPO?
not in
I have a
PCS,
course
no.
related thing, but we can do that after FPO. if you
Oh, okay.
want.
Okay, that works. I think the biggest storyline right now in disc golf is the Kristin Lott situation. I think obviously some people are trying to talk about Gannon. I am not listening to that noise. MPO is a completely different ball game. The dude isn't. If he's missing cash all of a sudden, then sure, let's talk about it. But
When was his last win? It wasn't that long ago.
I mean, he like battled all the way back to like third or fourth or something. I think at Discmania, right? Didn't he finish in the top 10?
I don't know if he made it back there, but
Did
I'm
he not
saying
battle all the way back
PCS
to
I think he
Discmania?
finished.
was
I
in
think
it.
at Discmania, I think he finished.
He was
13th.
13th. Yeah, 13th this mania.
But like
Okay, but he
PCS,
battled
he was
back.
right back
He
in
won
and
the
had
preserve.
one
That was the
shot
last
off.
win.
He won preserve.
Preserve.
Yeah, I'm saying PCS, like he was right back there. If he doesn't push that
Yeah.
shot too far straight, he might be in a playoff.
Yeah, so we're not talking about that, but we got to talk about Kristin Lott because Kristin Lott was head and shoulders above the field. Kristin Lott had gotten to the point where we were basically saying if she shows up and just plays somewhat decent, she probably is going to win. That narrative, I think, I don't know if it's still there at all. I think it might be completely gone because now we have someone like Evelina, who I've been pretty harsh on Evelina in the sense that I think she can throw the disc really well. She just can't putt. And it still blows my mind that she was able to win a world championship without putting. And it's tough when you see that happen and she's winning these tournaments. And now we have Kristin losing to Silva as well this year. Holland Hanley is starting to become a predominant top three. I mean, I don't think she's finished outside the top three all season.
Top five.
Top
yeah.
five.
Is it top five?
Yep.
Okay. We got to talk about Kristin Lott. And I hate to say it because I don't want to put her in the disc golf youth Instagram group of I played bad. What's my excuse? Let me write that in my first sentence of the recap of I had a really bad night's sleep. You wouldn't believe it. The fire alarm went off, but I went
Kinda gave up
out.
that shtick last event.
I went out and battled.
Last event, she kind of because she had been doing that a couple weeks, but last event she kind of hit everybody with the like. I got served a slice of humble pie. Just kind of got my butt.
Playing a
kicked.
different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't throw out any excuses. It was more like just didn't go my way.
And she just then posted pictures of like her trip and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
What I said like a week ago or a couple weeks ago is I think that Kristin is just weary and mentally weary, and we see that because one of her biggest announcements that she just made was that she split off her Instagram into another account where all of her disc golf posts will be on one and all of her other posts will be on another. And I don't want to psychoanalyze people, but it kind of feels to me like she felt like her whole world was revolving around her competition, and maybe she felt like she could never escape it because she said in an interview she just didn't feel like herself right now, and she's just finding a hard time like loving playing disc golf. And so maybe for her this like mental separation of these two things was super important to her because life was kind of blending together. But something is definitely up, and I'll be curious to see what her performance looks like this upcoming weekend. She was just also in her, I think, first practice round video in a long time. She was on MDG Media doing a practice round, which is pretty cool.
Toe F Jut wants to know, so which is it? Was Evelina good or Kristin bad? You can't really have both arguments.
Yeah, you can.
Both.
My
Yes.
my thing
Yes.
is my thing is
definitely both.
my thing is
And I can
Ev-
explain it.
Yeah,
Apples can be red and oranges can be orange.
and my take has always been Evelina has always been the best off the tee, always, and it's not really that close at the majority of the tournaments she plays in.
It's crazy.
She just can't putt. And my take has always been if there is someone that is decent off the tee and can putt, they should beat someone like Evelina. Should. It's not happening. So that's my take. What do you guys have to
well,
say
I
about
think
it?
what we've seen is when Evelina wins events, she can outthrow her bad putting. But what we saw this past week, at the end of the day, yes, Kristin had some terrible forehands, right? At the they were shockingly bad. She still just makes her circle one putt. She wins by a few strokes. Like even with the awful forehand moments, it's like in the circle one putts that she was missing. Some of them were little chain outs, but they did miss left. But like the circle one putt she's missing, it's not like we're asking her to all of a sudden cash a few 35 footers or tricky, weird anti-flex. It's like, no, hit an open 25 footer and you win this thing. Like that's where Kristin fell off. So Evelina is so good that like her strokes gained tee to green is literally like 10 clear of the field a lot of weeks, especially when she's winning. So yeah, she can out throw her missed putts. But to Brody's point, like if Kristin just makes the putt, even when she was throwing bad, she would have been just fine. And she had a 6-stroke lead going into the final round that was built on throwing decent, putting decent. So I think Kristin did play bad, and I think Evelina did play really well because Evelina's final round putting for Evelina was phenomenal, especially in the clutch moment. She hit some putts she really had to hit.
And let me just make this point.
This is the same
when
person.
when I go to look at to see how someone putted, I don't know. To see how someone putted the tournament, I usually just go to straight C1X putting and see how many misses they have. With Evelina, I have to go to C1 putting.
Yeah.
Because she does miss bullseye putts, and she did miss one bullseye putt. So she ended up missing 17 putts inside of circle one.
But look at the final round. The final round, she drastically improved.
And I'm agreeing with this person because some people is like saying she is making more clutch putts. I will agree with you. She is doing much better than she did at like the World Championship, where it felt like anything inside or anything outside of like 7 feet was like
the
what's
layup
gonna
in
happen?
World, she looked at James Proctor like, I might have just lost this thing.
Yeah.
It rolled to 8 feet.
So I will agree with you. Her putting has improved in the sense that if she does have a 25-footer or 20-footer, she does sometimes cash those in when she needs them. But again, 17 putts, guys. Go to the MPO field and scroll down and see how far down you have to go to find the first person that missed 10 putts inside of circle one. And my guess is
Let's see.
pretty far. While Gary's looking at that, does anyone have anything else?
I will say, I want to circle back to Gary's point for a second on the Instagram situation.
Which is very interesting. I didn't actually know that was happening.
He was taking it more from a perspective of maybe her life had gotten too mingled. I'm wondering if it was the outside noise had gotten too loud and she wanted a way to compartmentalize that, make that go away. Where on her disc golf Instagram, she hears the chirps there. Her comment section might say like, oh, what the heck's going on? How are you doing? Yada, yada, yada. And I'm wondering if she wanted to silence that. Like, I'm wondering if that's getting to her and it's spilling over into her play. Which, if so, this podcast is not going to go well for her. I hope she doesn't have YouTube.
Has Kristin won since Champions Cup?
This year, yes.
Yeah.
What did she win post Champions
All
Cup?
right.
She won one pro.
So yeah, so in a field, so just to let you guys know, in a field that is not very deep, as PCS Open, not very deep, you don't have a lot of American players over there. You had to go all the way down to the 27th player. Now I'm gonna pass who the actual first player was, just out of respect. But you have to go down to 27th. The person that finished in 27th, how many shots behind Adam was that? He shot 10 under. Adam shot
23.
23.
13
So
strokes.
13 strokes behind is how far you have to go down. And I would say if you go and look at majority of tournaments that are in the United States, you probably have to go even farther down. And with Evelina, too, it's one of those things, too. If I'm her, I'm hoping it is gusty.
Yeah.
I want it to be
Oh,
windy
yeah. Take
as
the putts out of it.
yeah, because everyone's missing 25 feet at that point, right? People are saying, Edwin Stat says she won Kona Peach Day.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
we just looked at. Only Silva was there. So Robbie might have something here.
Yeah, my thought is like you talk about the outside noise coming in, right? In the Instagram posts coming in, because we've really seen those Instagram posts really shining for the last 2 months. I wonder if Kristin is that outside noise is letting her fall into a like victim mentality to a degree. And every time a bad break, like I think that I'm not saying it's mental weakness, I guess it is, but when you're having an off day, you're feeling that off day, and you're just a little bit off, every bad tree kick, every little pickup of the disc just weighs on you that much more. And so it's not like Kristin's getting blown out in a ton of these events. I mean, she shot 930 rated round to end at PCS, and wasn't like she missed cash or something like that. She played drastically below where she's supposed to play. I truly wonder if it's just every round is just more and more grading in this. I can't like one major event happens, she feels like she got robbed of a major, didn't want to come out and say she felt like she got robbed, and now she's manifesting every single tournament this feeling of.
Is this a contract year for her, right?
Yeah.
It was 3 years?
It is, because someone brought up an interesting point of she's from Estonia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an Estonian disc golf manufacturer that just came on the scene in Kristin's contract year. And everyone was like, that's interesting.
Starting your own
Not everyone.
company?
I saw one post.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, but I thought alongside them, that's interesting.
Yeah, or maybe she's
Wow.
thinking that the contract she's serving out could be the best one
She'll ever
she's
see.
ever going to see.
Yeah, very, very interesting stuff.
Latitude could,
Maybe.
because as a retailer, Kristin moves more plastic than a lot of MPO players.
Yep.
Still to this day, her and Isaac are the only players moving Trilogy. I'll call it that, of West Side Dynamic.
And she's
Latitude.
still the
And-
it player in FPO.
Yeah, so-
she
She
hasn't
is.
lost.
So,
No.
but I do think the 5-year, because what was her contract? She got
It was
for
4 to 125.
a year.
125.
So it was a $500,000
4-year.
4-year deal. I don't think she'll see that again, but I do think she
Oh.
could see a shorter deal at a
You don't-
similar per year situation.
Oh yeah, she could definitely see 125 a year.
Yeah, I think she could see a
Yeah.
shorter year at a similar
because
per year
because
situation.
Isaac's getting, what did we learn? He was getting at like 200
I
or
think close to it.
something like that. Like yeah, I think she could definitely see that.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and it's one of those that's like, it's not, unfortunately for her, it's just not going to go away in the sport of disc golf where everyone wants to continue to grow it. People are getting more interested in what players are doing on the course and off the course. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if no one's talking about you and no one cares about you, you're going to make a lot less money in this sport. And so if she wants to just be a player and have no one talk about her and no one care about her, she's not going to make as much money. She's not going to sell as many discs, right? And she can go out there and do her thing. And there are athletes out there that do that, but there also are athletes out there that can handle the criticism, can handle the ups and downs, and capitalize on it. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what she does. She definitely is a little bit on the older side in the FPO field.
Yeah.
And there might be some things of her thinking about how much longer do I want to do this?
Edwin brings up an interesting point, which could be a situation. Did Sprinkle Valley break Kristin Lott? Hole 18, Sprinkle Valley, open at Austin. He said he was looking at her stats of 2024 through that event compared to post that event, and it's a drastic difference. That is when the outside noises got the loudest.
To think
True.
that one hole
That
in
would-
one situation
Just
to,
so-
to just completely wipe out a
It
player.
could wipe their confidence.
But it's one.
Does that make the hole
That's
better or worse?
wild.
If one hole is capable of breaking a player's career,
That is-
is it the greatest hole of all time?
That's a wild
Not only
thing
a
to think
player's
about.
career, a player who's had like the most successful career.
All right, I want to answer this question. I got to answer this because this is something that gets floated around, and I just got to set the record straight. Mike says, do you think Kristin is spread too thin with all the outside endorsements, clothing line, and stuff like that? No, Mike. A lot of people will tell you how busy these players are and how crazy their schedules are and how much they're doing. The answer is no. The normal person that has a 9-to-5 job is doing way more than these disc golfers. So the idea that they show up to take a quick photo for a magazine or they make an Instagram post or they do any of this stuff, the answer is no. They are not spread too thin by any means. Now, are they handling their situation that well? That's on them. But the fact that people give that excuse out of like, oh my gosh, this person's doing so much. I'm telling you right now, most of the time, the people that are doing the most on tour, it's not even them. There's a bunch of people working for them behind the scenes, posting on their social medias, running their foundations, doing all that stuff. They just show up and look pretty. That's not a good excuse.
I will say the guys that are actually the busiest on tours
Don't say the PGA.
I would not.
Don't you dare.
Are the ones that can barely afford to be on tour because
Yes.
they're on tour and driving for DoorDash all the hours they're not.
yeah, there
Those are
you
the
go.
guys that are grinding.
Yeah.
When you're at the top, I do have to like. I'm not saying guys on tour are lazy or don't work by any means. I'm
No,
not saying
that's not
that.
what I'm saying. It's
I'm
just
saying
don't
if you
compare
if you
them.
have a
Sponsored
9 to
Instagram
5
posts aren't that hard.
Yes.
family, that type of stuff, and you go out on tour and hang out, like, it's not an easy life because you're on tour, you're on the road nonstop, you're away from family. It's a lot of hard things. Busyness-wise, it's a great time. It's a great time because you wake up, you play around a disc golf, a practice round, 4 or 5 hours. You might get a workout in, but like if you got to go take a picture, you got 7 hours before you're going to bed of nothing to do. And it's not like you're at your house, so you have to worry about like, oh, I got to go home and clean and mow my grass and whatever. You're in a hotel or an Airbnb with your buddies. Like, I think some of it is poor time management. I'm not saying this is specifically about Kristin, but I think some players who complain about it, it's a poor time management situation where it's like, yeah, you're swamped because you woke up at 10 a.m., you got to the course at 12 p.m., you played your practice round, it's like, I got 3 hours of daylight left. And it's like, well, yeah, brother, because you wasted 4 of them sleeping. Like that, yeah, you're gonna feel real busy if
I wake
you
up at 3 every
start
morning.
your day late. Look, my first day is 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm just kidding.
He's gonna talk about running again.
If you haven't seen that Instagram reel, it is a great time.
Yeah. So
I get 3 days to year one. You accumulate that over a year, you're screwed.
The only other thing I gotta
fun.
say,
You're
and
buried.
some of you guys will hate this take because I'm comparing it to other sports. That is not an excuse used in any other sport. Tiger Woods goes out there and has a bad round. No one is talking about the fact that he has a foundation. No one is talking about the fact that he has kids. No one is talking about the fact of anything in his life. He is a professional athlete. You should be able to prepare yourself to go out there and play. If you can't do that, you need to figure it out. No one should be making excuses for what people are doing outside of their job. I'll leave it at that.
Yep.
He's going to leave it at that.
I have a question related to the course because you said that you really enjoyed the course. It almost made you want to play it.
PCS, I love it.
And I think that there.
What's the actual name of the course?
Valhalla.
Gates of Valhalla?
It's over us.
Oh, that's it.
Over us.
Yeah.
Come on,
Good try, Robbie. Good try, Robbie.
Yeah.
Valhalla's a cooler.
You guys see Gannon Bird.
It does have one of the coolest themes in disc golf with like the Valhalla theme. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the things that's very interesting about this course that I noticed is that it starts off with 5 par 3s and ends with 4 par 4s. It's a very unique design compared to a lot. What do you think about that? Because the 5 par 3s they start with are all very different in the way they're designed. The first is sort of that downhill, wide open. You got to throw the big forehand.
I mean, you know me. I hate par 3s to start a tournament.
Exactly.
Start a course.
Yep. But then you get.
But it is a good par 3. It's just I don't like it as whole one.
But then you get other par 3s that challenge different aspects of the game. You got the one that goes back uphill. You have the one with the low ceiling that's like a dead straight
Love
shot.
that hole.
So
gosh, it's Mike.
is this like the most? Is it when the par 3s are thoughtful, challenging different skill sets? Is that okay when the course is designed like that? Like, what makes you like this course compared to other courses?
I like this course because, well, one, I think it does need wind because a lot of these courses, unfortunately, are designed with the idea that, hey, it's going to be windy out here. We can't make these holes too hard. I like this course, though, because there are a lot of holes that are punishing, but I think to what your point was just at, there's very few times where you feel like you've thrown the same shot in the last few holes, right? Those first par 3s that you play, they all require completely different shots.
Yep.
Completely different discs. Some of you're throwing distance drivers, some you're throwing mids, some you're throwing fairways. It's a completely different feeling that way, and that's what I really like. I didn't like the one hole where everyone was like just chucking the disc up in the air, the brand new one. I wasn't a big fan of that. Players like that hole because they feel like they're breaking it. But I think like the par 4s too, same thing with the par 4s. They're very, very different, right? Like how you attack those holes are very, very different.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I like about disc golf. The fact that we have discs that fly differently, that do different things, and we can throw backhand and forehands. We should be looking at courses in a way of like, hey, let's not just have 5 stock hyzers in a row, right?
Yeah, because it felt like nobody could walk into this course and throw the same disc for the first 5 holes. You were always
Correct.
doing something differently.
And that makes it difficult when the wind's different to know I haven't thrown this disc, right? Because otherwise it can kind of get locked in.
And then ending with 4 par 4s means that there are 4 holes in a row where score separation can happen.
Yes. And those holes we saw it in the tournament. You can bogey and you can birdie them. I love those holes.
Shout out PGA Mike is in the chat.
You wanted to talk about something.
Have you seen the test basket, Brody? I thought Trevor forgot. I'm sorry. You paused for a second. I thought you forgot.
I was just gathering.
What is this one designed?
So it's the one at Maple Hill. It's on the tower hole now.
Yes.
It is like
The
it has
hanging
the
one.
hanging one.
Saw it.
Dark Horse, we kind of were talking about this earlier. Ours was a little bit different.
Kicker is there's
No, this was exactly the AI one the guy said.
There's no center pole. So
I don't
that's
care about that.
big. Well, that's
that's not the big thing. To me, the big thing
Well, that
here,
was the point of it. The point of it.
That was
is
why they designed it.
They designed it so that there's no center pole.
okay, well,
You can't have something go in, hit the pole, and go out.
cool. Love it. What I actually like about this, and maybe they didn't
What he
design
likes
it.
about it is what everybody else hates.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I like
Which I
about
knew would
this
be the
is
case.
now you can create holes where, hey, if you go on this side of the basket, your putt is significantly more difficult because that pole is now in the way.
True.
So you can now create spots on the green and not say, hey, you know what? Throw the disc 60 feet in any direction
It's so
around the
goofy to
basket,
look at, though.
and you have a putt. It's not a great one.
To me, I think that we can accomplish what you're saying, which I fully agree with
It's like
course
obstacles.
design.
You got the money for that course design, brother?
They're putting trees in courses. Let's not act like we're not at that
they're
point. in
they're
disc golf.
testing this at the one course where there is the most course design
Yeah.
manipulation possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you
We
rotate the
do-
basket for different rounds to make different difficulties?
Was this the one that I liked, or was there another
I don't
AI?
like the look of this one. The
Was
look
the
of it
other
is too
AI one-
tight. Yeah, it's just
This
too much to
reminds
look
me
at.
of that,
Oh,
that
I liked-
lamp in the corner.
Yeah.
The,
Where you're
I think,
like, yeah. I
yeah,
bought
the
my first
Hunter, the
lamp.
one I
Yeah,
liked
it does.
had
It's very lampy.
the one I liked had it was like this. The poles was like on the outside like that.
Two poles on, on
So
each
it
side.
wasn't like that where it's like hanging kind of. It was, oh man, I wish I had the photo.
I'm gonna find it.
See if you can find the photo. The one I liked looked a lot cleaner and looked, because I agree, that looks kind of weird.
It looks wonky.
Looks like a candy cane with a basket on the end of it.
Yeah.
Which looks a little weird.
Oh my
but-
goodness! Sorry, I had to scroll past the FPO trophies at US Women.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh,
Jeez.
Classic.
But yeah, I think what I'll say is I like that they're trying different stuff, and
Totally agree.
I don't love the idea that they're gonna maybe make a basket where speed doesn't matter.
I don't think taking the pole out is what we need to be focusing on.
Like, is that gonna make it to where people can just putt as hard as they want? And it's gonna catch
Surely
every time.
not.
I've heard it catches ridiculously well.
I think it might be like a mock X. No,
Well, it has to
I
catch
but I
pretty
would
well because you're going to
imagine
hit
if you-
front
You're
and
just-
back chain.
You're throwing
Yeah.
into a wall of change. He
Yeah.
probably has no speed control.
which I think
Yeah.
is
Do you
a
have
way to
like
make
our
putting
hyzer
more
putters at like an
different.
extreme disadvantage here because of the fact that like
And they
cut
cut
throughs
through.
are way more possible?
Maybe, but I
Yeah.
still stand by like if we're
Like an Isaac
changing
Robinson?
if we're changing the baskets in disc golf, it has to get smaller. It was designed for a bigger disc. Like we can't every other piece of equipment in sports, like I think that's what when you look at disc golf, what makes it for an outside person look so easy is just the size of the object we're throwing horizontally is this big, and we're throwing it into a catch basket
Massive.
that is massive.
Someone makes a great point that you could just hit the outer pole.
I don't like that.
And
I didn't-
bounce in
yeah.
like the one.
I
that's
didn't-
not-
Also true.
I
That
didn't
would
think
be-
about
that's the
that.
Bank shot.
Yeah, that's
I
the
didn't
worst.
think about that. You
thing.
just shank it and have it. I actually now say I don't like that
Yeah,
basket
That is
at
a
all.
huge flaw. Just
That's
being
a-
able to
That's
bank
a-
off the pole. You
like
have
a
a huge
shank?
target.
It's like
oh,
you,
yeah.
you
I
like
pull it
you miss a
right.
little, you miss
Yeah.
barely left, and it like hits a bunch of change and falls on. Like, oh, good try. I airball it right, hit the pole and bounce it. It's like, are you kidding me?
That would be disgusting. I would hate that. What about get the ratio of the golf ball to the hole versus disc size to the basket? Yeah, that Jeremy. I think that's what Hunter was talking
That is what
about.
I'm saying. I mean, what is the golf ball to hole ratio?
It's
1 to
1.5,
1.
right?
So it's almost the same as basketball. Basketball's 2.
They all somehow figured out like, hey, we should probably just have 2 of our objects fit in the thing.
Yeah, and disc golf, it's
it
2
was.
ultra stars.
It was 2 because that's what they used to play with.
Yeah, it just never
Yeah.
got small. Actually, what's funny enough is if you look at the original patent for the
I think
disc
it's
golf
exactly
basket,
2, Mark.
it's if you look at the original patent for the disc golf basket, it's significantly smaller than the basket we're playing on today, and the discs have gotten smaller, but our baskets have gotten bigger.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
Yep.
Shout out
It
to
just doesn't.
that course in Durham, North Carolina, that we played the unaceable baskets.
Oh,
I don't remember
yeah.
what the name of that course is, but when we
one
got
by the
there,
airport.
the one by the airport, it had like
Oh.
actually smaller cages, and
Yeah.
I remember that like spooking us for the first several holes of, man, this putt's got to be on. Man, we made putting harder.
Yeah.
The only
Yep.
difference is the basket was smaller.
I see in the chat people like aces. Aces would still happen.
They would just be more
Obviously,
exciting.
It'd be a more rare sight. Like a hole-in-one in golf is a lot rarer than a hole-in-one in disc golf. Like if I go out legitimately, if we can go film a video where we can't leave the course till all 3 of us get a hole-in-one. Spoiler alert, coming soon. But like it's only going to take us a certain amount of time, so we can plan like, oh, if we take an afternoon, all 3 of us are going to go out there. We are going to get a hole-in-one.
Yes.
And it's like that's how easy it is
Yes.
at the end of the day.
It's not great. All right, we're going to take a few questions from the people from the chat, and then we will wrap up the show tonight, mainly because my body battery. Oh, yeah, we have Pick'em.
We gotta do pick.
Let's do pick 'em.
We got to Pick'em.
Let's do pick 'em.
Do you guys want to address Tour Life listeners as to why Grip Locked
it's
has
very
been
simple.
absent? with
Discmania
their
Challenge. We were traveling in, so we didn't do a preview show because our flight got canceled. Overnight situation. We missed a bunch of content we were supposed to do. European. We haven't done a European event all season, and no one notified us that this was the first one we were going to do.
Oh, I don't think we missed Tour Life for the Discmania Challenge, did we?
No, we skipped it because of our travel. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I addressed that.
Yeah, we were sleeping in an
If you want to
airport.
make sure our plane doesn't get delayed overnight,
Yeah.
Gary, I'm welcome to do the picks.
I got that, but I get it. I have a 2-year-old. I have rough nights too, but
What, you want us to film just in an airport under an airport table while Trev's trying to get sleep at 3 a.m.? We were trying to get to Des Moines for the Creator Challenge.
you can still text your picks to Big Boy Edwin. We'll read them off for you at least.
Well, Edwin
Could have
doesn't
texted.
talk to us
We
anymore.
could have texted, but the European thing, I was never notified that we were going to do a
I mean, I figured we were just going to do. I feel like we were going to do.
There's
it
a
on
lot
the
of
big
feeling,
events.
figure. That's not a communication method.
It seemed like, hey,
You
this
guys
is a
would
big
just have your
event.
precious live chat to remind you. If you
I
forgot.
am excited to make a pick with the live assist.
All right, do we?
The
want,
aimbot.
aimbot.
I'm excited to
You
make a
guys
pick with
aimbot.
aimbot turned on.
All right, do you guys want to go back and forth?
I think that makes the most sense.
Okay. We usually start.
They had a balance today on my watch. That's a miracle. I might make it.
So okay, so I do have the pick'em results for PCS. Surprisingly, you guys actually did get points. With AB tied for 9th.
Let's freaking.
You guys got 1.5 points.
We didn't make picks.
We're just keeping your picks. It's fantasy. You guys have your bench. You have your roster set. You haven't changed it.
That's an interesting play when we don't have any communication from anyone saying.
There's
where
no.
you picked.
I mean, what else are we supposed to do?
An email,
Like
a text.
ask
Here's the
us.
updated list.
Hey, guys, what are
anything
your
would be fine.
picks?
You
But
gotta
that's
change your
Usually,
fantasy.
You got to take charge of your own destiny.
You gotta change your fantasy.
Yep.
That's
We actually also did not. We did scored 0 points in MPO. Didn't get a single MPO player. Nick lost 11th.
If it's a week like this, you have 400 people live and you couldn't get a point.
Kyle Klein,
That's tough.
Kyle Klein 13th. Ricky 22nd. No idea what happened. We picked Silva, who just got sick, so she didn't play. Paige Pierce actually did get us 8 points, and then we did pick Evelina.
Yeah, it was a great pick on my part.
Yeah, we got 33 points. We currently are in the lead by 187
Fraud lead.
points, and it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. But maybe
So we are doing European events now.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad I was notified.
Starting now.
Good to be notified.
We are doing Crocol right
be
now.
notified.
Crocol.
Good to be notified.
Crocol
And we
time.
will pull up the. Do you have that? So everyone knows who is.
I got the-
who's what.
I've
how
got
much.
I've got the DMC one, but I don't have the most recent.
We need the. Edwin, can you text me on the fly the points? I kind of know who we're gonna pick anyways, but if you guys want to start and you know what you're doing, by
You
all
think I
means.
got the pick 'em text?
No,
I ain't got
I'm saying-
what to pick from, brother.
No.
I didn't even know we were doing a European pick. You think I got a list in front of me?
No,
right
we're
now?
doing Crocol. We're doing Crocol.
Oh, I'm just picking from what? I don't have my tiers.
Is this still event 6 through 10?
The tiers should be roughly about the same.
Is this still event 6 through 10?
Roughly and about.
Yeah, we'll do this. We'll use
Okay, I
these
have the
tiers.
6 through 10.
Okay, he's got. The 6
Okay,
through
you have
10.
the 6 to 10. Okay,
Yeah.
so me and Gary will have it
Of
over
course I
here.
have that. All right, Edwin just texted us.
All right, there you go. He texted you.
See, he
say
can text you. Remember, Trevor did say I hadn't messaged him in months, and it was like a week since we last.
Yeah,
messaged,
that is.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
had messaged
Edwin, we
you.
love you. Don't take their
Oh, I
slander.
love Edwin. I love Edwin.
We do not allow their slander.
No, I'm
Yep.
not mad at Edwin. I'm mad at the lack of respect from Tour Life to
Bro.
still make picks for a European event when there was a
These tiers
standard
are already
of no European
so crazy.
events.
You're gonna give me.
Adam says
Ezra
Hunter
for
may not have the
$2.
tiers, but he's been producing plenty of tiers.
Evan Smith for a
pretty good.
buck.
Are you guys are
kidding?
doing FPO? What are you doing right now?
I'm
Pick
just-
FPO.
We're looking at our list here.
No, I'm not gonna
Caden's moved
take.
up? Is Caden's moved up
Well,
all the time?
Trev, I mean, the real decision here is just do we go Kristin at tier 1,
get one
or do we
pick.
bring in Silva or Holland? Well, yeah, but if you take tier 1, it knocks out all of tier 2. Do you not know how this works? Have y'all been just picking whatever the
No,
frick
no,
you
I'm
want?
saying
Okay.
pick one person
they
right
just
now.
pick
And then,
what
I
they
didn't want
want.
you to
I know.
pick 2 people.
I'm saying if we pick Kristin, it
Yes,
knocks out all
talk it
tier
out.
2. So we have to figure out
Talk
do
it
we
out.
want to go tier 1 or tier 2.
Yeah, you guys
Talk it out.
need to
We have
discuss
to-
this
Whatever,
for sure.
whatever you guys need, we are here.
Also, Dark Horse Cadence in tier 2, Trev. Dark Horse Cadence. Robbie C sitting next to me, which means I don't think Cadence is going to play well.
She also has put out.
Well, could she not travel?
Well, she's also put out posts that her exact quote was, "How
Bruce
do people
Pinky
handle
Toe?
this?" Well, no. How do people handle this travel? This time change is killing me.
Trev, what do you think? Do we like the Silva Holland, or do we want to go
Her
Kristin?
first time leaving the country.
Hey, some
I
people get
think-
crazy when they leave the country.
I think we go with Kristin Locke.
All right, we're locked in. Kristin Locke.
You didn't see that coming, did you, Gary?
Locked in. Can't take it back.
She didn't get injured in the last
Amateur
5
hour.
minutes, did she?
I think we.
We aren't used to having a live chat where we can pick someone who's not going to play the event, have them tell us they're not playing the event, and take
No,
it back.
usually we don't do the.
Why is
Kristin thing.
Evelina
That's-
not playing this?
She's taking a chill pill right
Oh,
now.
you thought you guys.
You could throw Evelina out there. Your chat will keep you up
Oh,
to
did
date.
you guys think we were so dumb because we didn't take Evelina?
Someone's have to
we were
research it
dumb?
because we don't have a live chat.
I think we just lock in 2 top 10s that are 100% going to be 2 top 10s. Holland and Silva.
We're just locking
Absolutely.
in the
There's
winner.
no chance Holland and Silva don't get 2 top 10s here.
Yeah,
There's a chance.
100%.
There's always a chance.
Nope, no chance.
After
you guys
that,
are up.
Trev, I mean, we can look at Cat Merch or Paige is probably our best tier 3
Let me throw out a different name.
selection. Don't say Henna Blonde.
Oh, you guys have to go tier
not even
3?
there.
Yikes.
Never mind. So let me.
Henna typically travels with Evelina, if that's what you're looking
Yeah, so let me redact that
And
name.
you guys have to do tier 1,
Cat-
or 4. Yikes.
I like tier 1 better than tier 2. I'm not gonna lie to you. So we probably take.
at. Either Cat Merch or Paige. I don't hate Paige. She played okay at PCS. She played terrible at Des Moines. She played okay at PCS.
How are you guys picking Cat Merch? She's in the tier 2 slot. You have no tier 2.
No, she's in tier 3.
She's in tier 3.
I just got the update. You're not looking at updated?
Oh, do we have an update?
My God.
Oh.
I should have let him.
Okay, Hunter. Yeah, let's
All
take
right,
Paige Pierce.
update. Oh, okay, game changer.
You want
Love
Paige
it.
Pierce?
Sure.
We'll take Paige Pierce.
That's tough. You think she's feeling the when they made
Don't you
Paige's
dare!
way?
Don't you dare!
All right. We're doing 2. Were you snaking like that? I'm doing 2
You already
again.
took 2.
But I
you
know,
just
but I
take
just
your
didn't know if we
third.
were snaking.
I don't care.
Okay. We will take. Who are we feeling here?
Is Anakin in tier 2?
She's in tier 4.
She's in tier 4.
Tier 4.
I don't like going all the way down
Yeah.
to tier 4. Dude, Ella hasn't done anything recently.
Yeah, she's kind of been.
Oh, I don't mind Hannah on this course though. Dark horse. Wait,
Gonna win. Yeah, she's there.
give me. Let's just cat merch it. Let's just ride.
Love that.
That's
Let's just
goodness.
ride. It's
All right, we're gonna take-
You guys
sneaky.
know she's scared of Europe,
that's,
right?
that's tough though.
You guys
I don't
know
give
that's
a
like her-
rip. We
that's
haven't
like her
picked her
big-
all year.
Oh,
We
you don't
haven't picked
listen
her
to
all
her.
year.
You don't listen to her
Anakin-
podcast, the Kitty Cat podcast.
Anakin did just finish second.
She's scared of
in
Europe.
PCS. So that's one thing to keep to consider at least.
Lock it in. Cat merch.
'Cause-
All right,
I'm
we're gonna
feeling it.
do
I'm
that.
feeling it. I'm feeling
All
it.
right.
We're gonna go Anakin.
Lock it
Steen.
in.
Anakin Skywalker, final answer.
Anakin
Okay.
Steen for us, please.
All right.
So I guess we have our MPO pick now.
Yeah, you guys go in PO.
All right, Trev, back to the same question.
Yeah, you-
Do we go Gannon Burr, or do we
Heck
go
to
with
the
2
no,
and tier
dude.
4, tier 2?
We have to take Antela.
You want Antela Ricky, or you want Antela AB? Isaac's in there.
Yeah, he is.
Calvin, get the frick out. Just kidding. Calvin
Dude.
could have a hot round 3 and get.
Let
in the
me
top
tell
10.
you what I'm in. Let me tell you what I'm absolutely in love with. I'm in love with Antela AB or Antela Isaac.
Antela.
I like those.
I'm gonna say Antela because it makes Gary mad, and then I'm in love with adding on either Ezra Robinson or James.
You
onto
picked
that.
Ezra Robinson to win this event, Trevor.
Yeah,
And to pick him
Well, that's why I
in
just,
our
you did.
preview
That's
show.
what you did.
Spoiler alert.
that's why I just threw him in
I
there.
know, but
as
it's
the
just
next-
really we're gonna go with. I guess Adam Ham is.
dude was in contention to win just last week.
So we'll go. We'll
Acting
go.
like that's
Well,
crazy.
we only need one. Niklas Antela. We'll take Niklas now.
Yeah, Antela.
There you go.
You like that?
The vowels across the name are all pronounced the same. That's how you know how to pronounce it.
Nicholas Antilla.
There you go.
I was a little worried that Sully wasn't even in the bracket. Like, I was worried Sully wasn't even in the bracket. I was like, that feels a little disrespectful, Edwin,
me
but he's
Gannon.
Yeah.
Gannon.
Yeah,
Dude,
I think you
he's
got
due.
to. We got
He's
to.
due. Give me Gannon.
It's,
Oh,
it's
it
Burr
doesn't
time.
We'll take Gannon.
The
like
ice age cometh. It is the Burr time.
My gosh, getting thrown into the lake.
Yes.
Hunter, I
that's
gotta
tough.
remind me to show you the golf fight. After
You gotta
this.
show me.
It
Ezra is in
unbelievable.
tier 3 now. Ezra is tier 3. All right, we're going Gannon over here.
Yep.
Wow.
The
that's
ice
so
age
tough.
So
cometh.
now we got to go the other tier 2, Trev. Do we want to go AB, Isaac, Ricky? I feel like they're our top picks.
Dude,
Which one do we want for the second?
I like Isaac.
You do? Your advice on the preview show,
you literally are
major
going-
coming.
No, not to
You're literally
win
reversing
yet,
it.
but I like him to be a top 10.
But you don't like Ricky to be a top 10?
Yeah, you can go Rick. Yeah, let's go Rick. Let's go Rick. He dominated. He dominated last
Coming
year.
off a 20.
Let's go, Rick.
I like
Place
Rick.
finish.
Let's
He's-
go
he's
Rick. Let's
due.
go Rick. Let's go Rick.
Okay, I think we gotta go Adam here. I don't think he falls off the cliff just yet.
Not
does he?
not that hard.
Yeah, right. I think he has a decent shot.
Surely.
He never falls off the cliff.
He never.
We didn't
He's
talk
not
about
a player that spikes in valleys.
We never-
I mean,
talked
who
about
else?
that.
Who else do we like?
Actually,
in
no,
this
we do
slot?
we like Adam a lot.
Who else do we like in this slot? Ezra,
did-
Robinson. Kyle let us down the one time we picked him last week.
Yeah, all I know is I can't believe that Trevor would pick Ezra Robinson to win the event and then not pick him here
No,
with confidence.
I want him. I do want him as our last. This is a different game.
I think we.
What did, I mean, this is just a question. What did Corey Ellis do at PCS? Because Corey is like a European Corey.
Are you asking
Was
the
he-
chat? Do you have someone in your
No,
ear? How
no,
does
Is he
it
a
work?
European Corey?
This is what they do, huh?
I wasn't aware. I just didn't know tour life. What is
They
it?
like ask
Like
questions.
if I'm
to each other.
asking questions, I got
Right.
Connor's eyes staring back at me. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Connor's looking at you like, I don't know, man.
I'm just thinking about solid selects right now, brother. All
Yeah, let's take it.
We're taking Ezra Robinson.
Ezra Robinson.
right, we'll take him as well.
Okay. that
Unless, I mean, do you want
cancels
to take another point or no?
And
You want to
then
try to go for points?
No, I'm gonna go. With
I
the
think we
Mo
stick
man.
with him. Yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna
go with
the
Ezra
Mo
Robinson.
man here.
okay.
That's our
He was the second pick for him.
We will
to celebrate
take-
the Soviets withdrawing from Estonia in 1994. We're gonna go ahead and go with Ezra Robinson.
We will take. Gosh.
Is Goose just finished in sixth? I know I just labeled him on debate night the other night as the
Goose
most
did had a big
overrated
escape
player.
I think we gotta go Goose or Sully here.
Ooh,
Sully,
Sully,
dude.
We go
Sully.
Goose or
Sully's a great
Sully.
pick.
If I was going low tier, Sully all the way, dude. He is on a heater.
I genuinely bit done. You're pretty dumb if you don't pick Sully.
I'd agree. Bit done.
Wait.
You're pretty dumb if you don't
Bit
pick
back
Sully.
on.
What about No Hat Goose? What about No Hat
Who are we
Goose?
missing? Who are we missing?
Oh, Evan Smith is
I was
also
gonna
a
say,
dirty pick.
Evan Smith is also in that list.
Evan Smith is also a dirty pick because he's also on a
Over
heater.
Sully?
Well,
Is it a forehand course? That's the question you gotta be asking yourself. Ask the chat. Chat, is it a forehand course?
Give me Goose.
You know what? I take Evelyn Assault.
Let's ride with Goose. Let's ride with Goose. Let's ride with Goose.
Sully
Have you
just
thought about changing your missed putt
Sully's
count to a
coming off
Goose?
of a fourth and a third.
Sully's playing great. Let's ride with Goose.
Okay.
Let's just ride. We gotta ride with our guys.
I love it. I respect it.
Yeah.
I,
Let's ride with our guys.
I want
Yeah.
to see him do well, but I also like y'all picking him for our chances.
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
The chat loves No Hat Goose.
Goose over
We're riding.
Sully
Not Goose.
and
Goose
Evan
over
Smith
Sully is just a
We're
great
riding.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're riding No Hat Goose.
All right.
Yeah.
He's the one geese that gets redemption. The two not geese don't.
Ridiculous.
And Corey says the first hole is a forehand. So
Oh,
could
Sully?
be. Could be a.
Why are you not taking Sully?
Goose has one of the best forehands. What are you talking about? His forehand's great.
I got bad news for you.
All right, fair enough.
It's 8:01. You have to end the stream.
All right.
True, bro.
Thank you guys so much
Man.
for watching
Yeah.
this week. We appreciate it.
Oh, I-
Make sure to tune in this Friday live.
Live.
12 p.m. 11 a.m.
I think
12 p.m. Eastern. We will be out at Fallen Creek. If you are in the area of Lynchburg, come on out. The biggest battle we have ever seen. Kelsey v. Connor. Ace Challenge should be absolutely electric. We go live 12 p.m. Eastern. Foundation Disc Golf's YouTube channel, or you can come out and watch it live in person. And hopefully we're out there too. I mean, this could be if it's like an hour goes by and there's no ace, this could be a very interesting live stream.
Come on out.
Very
I
interesting.
want to see you. I'll be there with a big hug waiting for you.
There'll be a lot of people there. Should be a good time. And with that, we'll see you guys next week.